Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, welcome to Tune Up Tuesday here from Recovery Unplugged Fort Lauderdale. My name is Carl. I'm glad to be here with all of you out there in Facebook land. And generally what we do on Tuesday nights is sort of a half discussion, half concert, all fun. And so I usually get one of my friends to come in that's in the music business who also is sober. And tonight is no exception to that. I have my good friend, Mr. Mike Rossi, here with us this evening. And in a little bit, I'm going to let him tell you about him and his own story. But I figured first we could start with a song, and then we'll take it from there. Sound good, Mike? You want to say hi?
Yeah, sounds great. I'm so grateful to be here across this Facebook Live, and to all of y'all, we're going to play a song that I wrote, and it's called Shed Your Skin. Here we go. Shed your skin, come on, shed it with me. The old man that I was is lost out to sea. He's lost out to sea. Come on, shed your skin. Let's be more than friends. Ain't no reason to pretend, not anymore. Not anymore. Gotta keep on climbing, gotta keep on fighting, gotta keep on searching for what we both know is true. Gotta keep on growing, gotta keep on learning from the mistakes that we made back in our youth. Show you around, oh, my hometown, oh, the place I was born and raised, where I was born and raised. And let me take you to the creek, my old stomping ground, where we can sit by the water and listen to the sound. Oh, to that sound. Gotta keep on climbing, gotta keep on fighting, gotta keep on searching for what we both know is true. Gotta keep on growing, gotta keep on learning from the mistakes that we made back in our youth. Gotta keep on climbing, gotta keep on fighting, gotta keep on searching for what we both know is true. Gotta keep on growing, gotta keep on learning from the mistakes that we made back in our youth.
great song.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, Mike?
Yeah, my name is Michael Rossitano, and I come from, I was born in Nashville, born and raised in Nashville.
You don't say.
Yeah, imagine that, right? A songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee. But, yeah, I lived there my whole life, man. I'm 37 years old, and I lived there, barring a little trip overseas for a little while. But, yeah, I lived there up until a few months back when I came through RU here and went through treatment here. And, yeah, it's been an amazing experience since, man. It's really been eye-opening. I've been through treatment centers before, a lot of long-term treatment centers. I never went through like a shorter term as far as when I was in-house or whatever. And I don't know, it was just different. Something was different this time around.
Maybe you were different this time around.
Yeah.
You were ready, huh?
I think so, man. I think so.
Tell me about growing up. What was growing up like for you?
I had a great family, man. My dad and my grandfather were famous pro wrestlers back in the...
Wait, famous pro wrestlers?
Yeah, famous pro wrestlers.
Really?
Yeah,
like WWF style?
Yeah, like WWF style.
Really?
And,
I didn't know that.
yeah, man. They were big in the Southeast and Nashville. My grandfather, his name is Len Rossi, and it's LENRSSI, but you can Google it, and it'll show you he's got a Wikipedia page. He's got everything. Picture after picture. And he actually had the first African-American tag team partner in the Southeast, and this was during the 60s in Birmingham, Alabama, during the race riots and everything. And it was a big deal. It was a really big deal. And my mom, she was an incredible mother, man. They were incredible parents. My dad passed away when I was 20 in 2003. It's kind of when my using career took off. But anyways, yeah, my childhood was great, man. I grew up in a small town. That song I just sung, Let Me Show You Around My Hometown, and it talks about the creeks and stuff. That's kind of, that's about my hometown. And I had a great upbringing, man, And as far as I know, like, none of my family members were really addicts or alcoholics. My parents weren't addicts or alcoholics. I don't know what happened with me, but I don't know, it's just how it went down. I think, I just always gravitated towards the weirder people, the misfits, I guess, because I felt like I was a misfit. I don't know, like, I always felt like, I was born in the country, and I always felt like that I didn't really fit into that country mold, as far as, like, I wasn't really the big fisher, the hunter, stuff like that. And
did you start playing music when you were a kid?
No, not at all. Like, my brother is a musician, and I piddled around with the guitar when I was a teenager and stuff, but I really didn't start singing and writing until about 7 or 8 years ago when I first got clean.
Wow.
And my first treatment was in Columbia, Tennessee, and a dear friend of mine who I hadn't met there saw me singing in a chapel. They had a chapel there, and I would just go in there and spend all my days in there, and I was singing to myself. I didn't know anybody was in there, and I was singing one day, and I heard somebody clapping, and he was like, "Oh my God!" And he said, "I'm going to make you sing every day from here on out." And he gave me my first acoustic guitar, and it was, so from then on out, I just, that's what I started doing.
You got a song that reminds you of your childhood, Mike?
That one I sung just kind of reminds me of it. I'm trying to think here, let's see. I guess this one kind of does. This is called, doesn't really remind me of my childhood, but a little bit. Yeah, we'll sing this one.
We'll sing.
Yeah. This is called Time Will Tell. It's key of C.
Key of C, baby.
where I felt no sorrow, no pain, no regrets, only hope for tomorrow. Now I'm living on borrowed time, and like Johnny said, I must now walk the line. So what I find is peace in the madness, and when I think of her, oh, it triggers my sadness. For I can only hope for love to prevail. As for that, only time will tell. Only time will tell if there's a heaven or a hell. And on the road there I will do the best that I can. For I have seen love in the most raging of fires. Oh, to be with you, my sweetest, oh, my only desire. It's my only desire. Oh, do you remember when we first met? That old church in the hills, oh, you said we was blessed. You said there ain't nothing that could hold us down. Then you pointed to the cross and that man on the crown. Only time will tell if there's a heaven or a hell. On the road there I will do the best that I can. For I have seen love in the most raging of fires. Oh, to be with you, my sweetest, oh, my only desire. Oh, to be with you, my sweetest, oh, my only desire.
Oh yeah, man, that's a great song. Another great song. You're 2 for 2, Mike. So when did the drinking start?
The drinking was probably the first thing. I was the drinking started when I was probably 13.
13.
You know, and the drinking and pot, and I guess, you know, typical, and for a person like me, I guess. I don't know about normal people, but yeah, for me. And yeah, it didn't really become a problem until I was, you know, probably 20. But
So what happened? You get through high school, you did college?
yeah, I graduated high school and I went to one college and I dropped out after like a semester, and I was already like skipping school. I was already showing behaviors of being an addict, you know, before I was an addict. Like, I mean, even as a kid, I was learning how to steal. You know, like I remember taking money out of my dad's wallet when I was 5 years old, you know, and I remember getting away with it and having that like first gratification of like, I got away with something, you know, eventually till I got caught, you know. So it's like, I feel like I was always kind of like, had that addictive nature before I even really started using the eventually opiates that became the drug of my choice, you know.
So you start drinking, you go to college, you drop out, and then what?
I went to a sound school after that, like a technical school, audio engineering school in Nashville, and it was a great school, man. And my dad got cancer, and my brother was overseas, and he wasn't really there much, and I was kind of the only man of the house, you know, when my dad was getting chemo a lot and stuff like that. And I don't know, I started using during that time. You know, I started doing like cocaine a lot, and never done cocaine in my life, you know, and I met somebody, and I'll never forget, like, there was one time where I took my dad to get chemo, and he was like in the chemo chair, stuff hooked up to him, and he was getting the worst kind of chemo or whatever. And I went out into the parking lot to do some coke. And I remember coming back, and he had fell out of his chair, and there was no nurses there. And for whatever reason, man, that always stuck with me. Like that one moment in time, you know, that I always felt extremely guilty about, you know. And when he died, man, it was the first pills that I took, pain pills that I took, were his pills. I cleaned out his medicine cabinet, and they were his pills. You know, it's like the irony of it all. You know, and from then on out, it was just like this constant, this daily thing, man.
Hooked from the start, right? First time you did them, you're like, this is
like
home.
like Lay's potato chips, man. It was,
He's the
you know, like you couldn't just have one, dude. And it was, and the thing with coke is like, I could do it, and once it wore off, I didn't really have to have it again.
Right.
But with pills, it was like boom, you know. It was unbelievable. Like I felt stronger, I felt smarter, I felt, you know, it was like this super drug to me, you know.
Till it wasn't.
Yeah, until it completely.
So how quick between, so you start doing the pills, right, and then there's consequences that happen. Was it quick?
For me, yeah, because like I'm the type of user that's like, even if like, which you'll probably hear later, but like my tolerance is like so huge. Like I'll use for like a month, and I'll be just crazy tolerance, you know. And then, you know, of course, with the tolerance becomes you need more of your drug. So then you need more money. And then when you don't have money, what do? You know?
You find ways and means to get it.
Yeah, you do desperate, dumb, stupid things that you would never do. I never stole a piece of gum, you know.
Except from your dad's wallet.
When I was a kid. But as far as like in my adult life, I never stole from anybody when I wasn't using. You know what I'm saying? And so it was crazy, man. It was crazy. Like, yeah, I got in huge trouble. I mean, not the first time, not as much, but I still got in trouble, you know.
So you catch a habit, it starts to get out of control, and you don't have any idea what recovery is at this point. Do you have any idea about rehab, stuff like that?
No, not really. No.
So what happened to make you stop the first time?
I was actually, it was 2009. I'd been using, I was probably like 25 by then. But I don't know. I was living with this in Nashville with this band, and I was doing sound for them. I had graduated school, you know, and I was doing sound for them, like, and we were going all up to Southeast and this and that, and there was just a lot of drugs involved, you know. We would party like rock stars, but we weren't even rock stars, you know. It was ridiculous. And I remember, like, something happened. I came back home, and I remember I had to get my license back. It got suspended imagine that, got suspended for some reason. And my mom gave me $60 in cash. And she didn't want to give me cash, you know, because she knew I was using.
She knew.
Yeah. But she did, because she didn't have any other means or whatever, and Venmo wasn't around then or nothing. You know, so she gave me cash, and she was like, do not spend this. And then, like, the next day, I spent it on something, Coke or something. I was up all night, all freaking night. And I'll never forget it, because, like, he had this dog that lived in the house, and he was out of town. Well, the dog had been in my bed all day, and like the bed was full of fleas or something. And I remember waking up all night with these bites all over me, and I thought like maybe I was hallucinating or something, like I was freaking out. But it was really,
It was dog fleas.
dude, so I didn't sleep all night, and I was on dope or whatever it was. And my mother shows up to my house. I didn't know she knew exactly where I lived, And I remember coming out on the front porch at like 4 in the morning or 6 in the morning, and just the look in her face. The look in her face was so
Just pure horror, right?
yes, dude, and it made me feel so guilty, and that's when I chose to go in treatment for the first time.
And that was up in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Let's do a song,
Okay.
and then we'll continue from treatment center number 1.
Yeah.
What you got?
For sure. Let's this is called Heavy as the Heart. This is a good treatment recovery song, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little darker, but it's good. We could talk about it forever until the end of our time, and we could try to predict the future. Sometimes it's best to keep a simple mind. And heavy is the heartache, oh, heavy is the heartache. Heavy is the heartache that I face. Heavy is the heartache, oh, heavy is the heartache. Heavy is the heartache that I face. Oh, that I face right. Heavy is the heartache that and they say the devil is a liar. At times he was my only friend, and oftentimes it was just a little bit easier to give up and give in. And heavy is the heartache, oh, heavy is the heartache. Heavy is the heartache that I face. Heavy is the heartache, oh, heavy is the heartache. Heavy is the heartache that I face. Oh, that I face. Come on. And I keep getting back my flesh to see what's going on inside. scared to meet my maker. For I don't know what he'll decide. Heavy is the heartache, oh, heavy is the heartache. Heavy is the heartache that I face. Heavy is the heartache, oh, heavy is the heartache. Heavy is the heartache that I face. Heavy is the heartache, oh, heavy is the heartache. Heavy is the heartache that I face. And heavy is the heartache, oh, heavy is the heartache. Heavy is the heartache that I face.
Well, Mike, you're 3 for 3 on great songs, my dude.
I appreciate it.
So, you go to treatment, first time, massive opiate habit, yes?
Massive, yes. Massive destructive opiate habit, yeah. And I did good. I did good, man. I stayed there. I stayed in a halfway house. They had a halfway house on campus, and I stayed clean for 2 years, man. I got married, which was probably dumb. I got into a relationship literally like, I had like 6 months sober. There was a girl that was like part of their team there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we hit it off, and it wasn't good. Like we had a talking to by the higher ups there. You know, it was crazy. It was a wild situation, and we got married against advice. You know, like this and
Checks
that.
out.
And we were married for like maybe 9 months, and I relapsed. Like, I mean, I was going to the meetings and this and that, you know, in the beginning. And then I quit going kind of when we started, you know, getting real serious or whatever. And then I just tanked, dude. I tanked, and I asked her, like, hey, if I go back to treatment, will you stay with me? And she told me yes. So they let me go back to the same place, even after the bad blood and everything, you know. Which was very awesome of them, you know. And I stayed for like 2 months, and she told me she wasn't going to divorce me. Well, a lawyer comes with the papers, and I leave that same day. I was pissed, you know. And, you know, in hindsight, I only went to save my relationship. I wasn't going to get clean.
Sure.
So as soon as I got out, I was using again. You know. And it just led me on this disaster path, man. I got with another girl, like, I stayed clean for 3 or 4 months, then use again. Stayed clean for 2 months, and then I found this other girl, and I thought, okay, this is it, you know. Like, she had a son I was like a father to for a couple years, man. And this was just up and down battle of self and lying to her and manipulating her, and it just went way downhill, dude. And I ended up catching like 14 felonies for forging checks.
14 felonies?
14 felonies, man, for forging. They were all mostly within like a 3-month span of time. And I just got to the point where I was like in utter despair. Like, I just did not care anymore. I didn't care about life. I didn't care. I wasn't like suicidal, but I was dead, man. I was dead in every sense of the word, in every sense of myself. And I didn't care about anything spiritually, anything emotionally. And dude, I was like, I was living behind this lady in this, I'll try to make this quick. I was living behind this lady, behind this house. It was a friend of ours. And I was remodeling her, this like, it was like a garage, but with just a door, you know, and a garage room or something. And I was remodeling it for her son, turning it into a man cave or whatever. And she had a remodeling fund with a bunch of money she got from her husband who had died. And I took some checks out of the back of the book, and I would go to the bank and cash them. They knew me there, you know. And my mom actually caught me, out of all people, because she was helping her do her books, because the lady had just had a stroke. I mean, you know, this is horrible. But you don't think about that stuff, man. You don't think about that, you know? And then, like, they caught me, and the state picked up the charges because the cops came to the bank. Long story short, here I am with 14 felonies for 6 to 7 checks, 2 felonies per check for the theft and this. And, you know, I remember, like, hiding under, there was a pool table, and the cops were coming to my house 3 or 4 cars deep, like I killed somebody, you know. And I was underneath this pool table, and I had a sheet draped over the pool table that had a concrete floor, and I had a lamp underneath the pool table hooked up, and I was snorting pills off the floor, off the concrete floor. And I had a moment that night where I finally gave up. And my aunt had told me about this place in Alabama, and she paid the entry fee, and I went that next week. And then I got court ordered I went there for a year. You know, a year. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say it over here, but it was a religious treatment center. Yeah, it was Teen Challenge in Alabama. So it was a complete religious thing. And it was all right. I mean, it was super tough. And then I got court ordered. I wasn't even court ordered then. Then I got court ordered for another year in East Tennessee.
Wow.
It was either you do this or you go to prison for 8 years.
Yeah.
You know? So I went to the old annex of the prison in East Tennessee that James Earl Ray was housed at, the guy who killed Martin Luther King. And the prison wasn't working anymore. It's closed down. But it was haunted, dude. Like, you could hear chains rattling at night sometimes, because we were only, like, maybe 50 yards from it.
Wow.
You know, it was wild, dude. A wild experience. It was basically like being in jail, but you could go outside. I mean, that's basically what it was. You know, 364 days. So I did 2 years back-to-back treatment, man.
So now you're coming out of 2 years worth of treatment. By the way, I can relate to all this. I mean, the stuff we do, it's like we're animals. We have no conscience. It doesn't matter how we were raised, what kind of morals we have.
Yeah.
When we're in it, man, we're not thinking about
No,
that
not
stuff.
at all.
We're just thinking about, let me get some more of that stuff,
Yeah.
man. Whatever the cost.
Yeah.
So you get out of 2 years of treatment, right?
Yeah.
And then?
I'm on drug court in Tennessee, and I did good. Like, I made it through it. I only had a year left of drug court because my year in East Tennessee counted towards my drug court. So I was on, like, the lenient, you know, whatever, the lenient process of it after the first month of being home. I started a band when I got home. A lot of these songs I play tonight are from that band. And I wrote a few of those songs. That last song, Heavy as the Heartache, I wrote in the kitchen dugout of that annex looking at the prison barbed wire. And that's where I wrote that song. And, but anyways, like, I got home, I did good, I graduated drug court, yada, yada, yada. Like, I, you know, had a pretty good job. I was doing my own flooring and stuff like that. I met my wife when I had about 3 years, my wife now. And I met her in Nashville. She's actually from Brazil, but she was living in Nashville trying to be a singer. And I met her, and I did good, man. I did good for a while. I did good. I was clean like 4 years and 3 days was the count. And I ended up relapsing because, again, like, my wife didn't have nothing to do with me relapsing. It was me forgetting and getting complacent. You know, not losing that gratitude, losing what got me there, you know what I mean? Like, losing all my spirituality, like not praying anymore, not meditating anymore, not doing the things that I was supposed to be doing that gave me all these things, dude. That's what, really, like, that's what blows my mind about, like, recovery and, like, how quickly you can lose that self. You know what I mean?
A matter of days.
Exactly, dude. Like, and what blows my mind is the opposite spectrum of how quickly you can gain everything back too.
Absolutely.
You know?
I totally agree.
And it's like that for me, it's not really a battle now where I'm at my recovery now. But then, and like I said, I don't know, it's different this time. Maybe I just actually want it and I don't have any reservations this time. But last time, I was always battling with that, like, complacency, you know, and questioning everything, you know, and losing that gratitude and taking things for granted.
Yep.
You know?
Let's play another one.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about where you're at today.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to think which one we should play here. Let's play How Do I? How Do I is a good song. We played it the other night at the thing we did. And this is a good song, man. It's basically like, how do I come back from this? How do I come back from these situations that I put myself in? So here we go. Once again I am trapped in between a dream and reality. There's beauty all around me, yeah, it surrounds me. I'm blind and I cannot see. My eyes are flooded with regrets, but I know there is hope and it lies ahead. I'm still breathing, my heart is still filled with the last words that you said. So how do I come back from this? How do I let it? How do I let it all go? And what happens if you can't hold on and you just simply, oh, you tell me no? Now I'm living for something that's not of this world. And every now and then I close my eyes, I think of you, my girl. I know you're doing well, I know you're doing fine, for that I cannot complain. Hope you didn't go to tears, hope you didn't go to fears and all the pain that I caused. So how do I come back from this? How do I let it? How do I let it all go? And what happens if you can't hold on and you just simply, oh, you tell me no? Oh, how do I come back from this? How do I let it all go? And what happens if you can't hold on and you just simply, oh, you tell me no? let it, how do I let it all go? And what happens if you can't hold on, and you just simply, oh, you tell me no. Oh, how do I?
4 for 4, Mikey.
Thank you, brother.
It's a great song. It makes a lot of sense. So, you have 4 years and a couple days, and then another slip up, yeah?
Yeah.
Lose track of the gratitude,
Yeah.
stop doing what you were doing, and then
Yeah.
what?
And then,
Because that's a pretty good chunk of clean time.
it is, man. It is, you know, I mean, 2 years of it were in treatment, you know, and a year of it was in drug court. I had things hanging over me that I was scared of, man. You know, I was scared of prison. I was scared of just things, you know, the state of Tennessee. But still, I mean, nonetheless, I still had the time. You know, like, I had 2 years on the street, 2 years in treatment. And, but after that, like I said, I'd already had met my wife, Fernanda, and I just started losing, like I said, losing that gratitude, man. And like I was playing in bars and playing in music venues all over Nashville and different little towns in Middle Tennessee. And I started drinking, and alcohol was never my thing, you know? And it's not that I was like getting drunk, but I would drink, you know, a beer, 2, 3 beers during a show. And we were doing probably 2 shows a week, you know? But I think it led me into this mind frame of like, oh, okay, oh, I can do this. Like, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna, just as long as I don't use, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, like that
I can
always.
just drink and I'm not going to go back to the pills.
And I never freaking, I'm here to tell y'all that in my experience, it doesn't work, you know? And,
I don't know many people that works for.
Yeah. And so then, you know, I'm smoking pot again, you know, and just one thing leads to another. I start doing, working with this guy, man, and he introduces me to, which I was doing opiates again, and he introduces me to heroin. And I've never done heroin in my entire life, man. You know, never even seen this stuff. And it, you know, I don't blame him for it. You know, he's you know, I don't blame him for nothing, but because I made the choice, you know. But like, he was just like, take the stipulation out. It's not that bad. Blah blah blah. It's cheaper. It's stronger. It's blah blah. And I remember doing that one line, and I never shot it, but I remember snorting it and being like, oh my God, like, this is amazing. Like, you know, like, and an addict's dream, you know? And it's, dude, it just like, for like 6 months, just boom, you know, like super crash into oblivion. And my wife, God bless her soul, man, like she basically would like gave me an ultimatum of like, she said, I'm moving down to Florida because, you know, my mom's going to help me open this little nail salon room. And when you get your crap together, for, you know, lack of a more different term, when you get your crap together, you come down, you know. But she wasn't giving up on me, you know, and she left, you know, and here I am, left to my own devices, left by myself. And it had nothing, like, I don't blame her at all, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatsoever. And it just started getting worse and worse, and I was doing the methadone clinic and blah, 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 you know, and then I wasn't even just doing the methadone, I was doing methadone and heroin, you know, horrible combination.
Not good, Mike.
No.
Not good.
And then it just went worse and worse, and one day, man, I was just sick of it, dude. I was so freaking tired of it, man. And I said, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to come to Florida. And I didn't plan on coming to treatment down here. You know, my plan was to do it like wean myself off with Suboxone, blah, 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 you know. And dude, was I wrong? Jesus, man. I went to precipitated withdrawal. Like, we had just went to SeaWorld and blah, blah, blah. And like the next day I ran out of my stuff and dude, it was horrible. It was a nightmare. It was the worst withdrawal I've ever been through. I went through it 3 times in 3 days, man. It was horrible. And then I go to this detox in Sunrise, and dude, it was horrible. I AMA'd, which I don't recommend anybody doing, but I did it. And but if I wouldn't have AMA'd from there, I wouldn't have ended up at Recovery and Play. It was amazing how it all intertwined, man. It really was. So I wouldn't have left there. I wouldn't have ended up here.
Well, the important thing is you made it, and
Yeah.
you know, the important thing is that while you were in treatment, you did great, and you're still doing great.
Yeah, I'm doing.
So,
Yeah.
you know, that's the takeaway from that. I mean,
Exactly.
we all come here. It's not like any of us haven't done stuff like AMA from a treatment.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Like, that's GAV in the big score in the big picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I want to play one last song with you, but how's it going out there with all this coronavirus and pandemic? You're staying strong, doing what you need to do, staying connected.
Yes, man, I am, and more connected than I've ever been. Like I said, something's different this time, and I don't have any reservations anymore. And I don't think I can drink successfully again.
You can't.
No, I know, and like, but yes, dude, I'm doing better. I feel better now than I did in some months in recovery than I did at 4 years, man. You know, like something's just different, bro. And moving down here was a true blessing, man. True blessing in my life, you know.
Well, we're glad to have you as a part of the community, Mike.
Yeah, man.
It's been a pleasure. So, Mike, you wrote this song while you were in treatment with us, and I remember playing this with you at one of our Sober Sessions open mics. And I heard this song, and I'm like, man, this could be the freaking theme song for recovery, man. It's a good one. Y'all are in for a treat. You want to introduce the song, Mike?
Yeah, this is called "Come On Everybody," and I wrote this like a week into treatment. And anyways, like I said, I played it with Carl at the Sober Sessions, and we had a blast, man. What is 120 people singing the song with us, dude. And it was like the best musical experience. It was like my Red Sea moment night, man. It was amazing. That was the night everything changed for me mentally. You know, the first time I played with you, first time I'd really met you, you know.
That's right.
It was a blast, dude. It was amazing.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Sober Sessions.
And you can actually go back on the Facebook or on the Recovery Unplugged Facebook and watch it if you want to.
It's up there?
Yeah, it's on the Sober Session stream somewhere.
I will do that.
Yeah. Anyways, here we go. All right. I'm prepared to lose my mind while I try to make you mine. And I'm prepared to lose it all just to catch you when you fall. And I'm prepared to take that chance, so I can have your last dance. And I'm prepared to lose all of it, 'cause I'm a fool and I can't quit. Yeah. And I don't know where to go from here. Would you please help me out, my dear? I'm just a stone's throw away from freedom. of my feet. So come on everybody, so come on everybody, so come on everybody, just lean on me. So come on everybody, so come on everybody, so come on everybody, just lean on me. Yes, an answer waiting up. So let our truths be told, and it was all written on those scrolls of ancient oak. And we gotta lean on one another, fight this old thing, go hand in hand. Ain't no reason to give it up now. Leave all them footprints in the sand. So come on everybody, so come on everybody, so come on everybody, and just lean on me. So come on everybody, so come on everybody, so come on everybody, just lean on me. Just lean on me. Just lean on me. Just lean on me. So come on everybody, so come on everybody, so come on everybody, just lean on me. So come on everybody, so come on everybody, so come on everybody, just lean on me. Good stuff, man.
Mike Rossi, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in
Thank
tonight.
y'all so
Mike,
much.
thank you so much for coming and do this. I love you, brother. It's
Yeah,
a
man.
pleasure having you here. Ask a Therapist this Thursday, and we have another front porch sessions happening on Sunday night on Facebook. I hope you guys are all doing well, and we will see you later this week. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you guys.